Oh, hey there, and welcome. Ooh, that was a sweet sound. To the Ope Three-Way Pro Wrestling Podcast on this, our episode 90. Love the number 90. It was a great year. Coming from Brandon, joined as always by my good bud, Pierce. Pierce, how you feeling today?
I'm fucking tired, man. I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's been a long week already. Next week's going to be even longer. I'm going to just break this out before we even get into anything. Next Wednesday and Thursday, we were supposed to have a special guest, but my work needs me in-house in La Crosse, Wisconsin. So I will not be available because I got to get up early, drive up there, stay overnight, and drive back Thursday morning. So it's going to be a long day, so I will not be available. But we do have him rescheduled for, I believe, the 24th, and I'm just going to confirm that real quick. Does that sound correct, Brandon?
Sounds correct, Mundo, to me, good bud. I'm all for it.
And I am very excited for that guest because our friend that we met at Warrior Wrestling Brawl in the Beer Hall 2, the drummer of Downstate, all around DJ and all around great human being, Mark Esses will be joining us to talk about Downstate, his professional wrestling love, and then maybe we do some quick hits on the events that are happening that weekend because it is a fucking stacked weekend in wrestling that weekend as well.
Yeah, you're damn right it is, bud. Yeah, I'm excited to have him on. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it was supposed to be next week, and unfortunately I got pulled in on the professional side. So, Mark, I thank you so much for being flexible and working with us, and we will see you soon, dude. And again, we appreciate you. But today we are talking about the results for Clash in Italy and Noche de los Grandes, night one, which may be my favorite night besides Double or Nothing in wrestling this year for a consolidated, just pure wrestling show. And Brandon, we're not alone today.
No, we ain't. Joining us for the second time ever, wrestling superfan and my good bud of quite a few years now. Let me get my angle right. Pete!
Hey.
What's good, man? How you doing?
Good.
Oh,
man.
yeah, no, sorry, I forgot to get my angle right.
For Grande.
Para Grande.
It's for the Mexican national anthem. If I'm, that's how they do it. Correct?
I thought he was doing that. Wasn't he doing that as Kaiser too? I thought he did some of that.
Grande Americano is definitely not Kaiser. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Right.
I mean,
they found out who one of them was, but the second one I have no idea because he is a lucha de apuestas, which means his personal life is not known. So,
right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, Pierce. He was in Mexico, taking pictures with people at the event. Just happened to be similar.
It could be a fan.
Brother, let's compare. Zoom in on that hair strand that popped out during the match, and we'll do a comparison. But
I need Donnie here to bring you guys down to size, so we have somebody that's on my side here. Pete, we thank you, man, for joining us. I know we're all in a little group chat for SummerSlam because we're all planning on going. You guys register for your free WrestleCon tickets?
Oh, did that open up?
Yep, I already got mine locked and loaded.
Oh, I got to get in there.
Got to get it right away, otherwise they will not be free anymore. So do it right away.
Yep, right after the show.
And don't pay the $500 for the VIP because even though there's a lot of cool stuff with the VIP, whatever. No disrespect to WrestleCon, but I'll take free 99 any day of the week.
Yeah. That's about where I'm at.
So, before we get into Noche de los Grandes first, and of course Clash in Italy second, two things. If you were one of the weird ones who paid $12,000 to make pasta, I'm jealous because you got to make it with Ethan Page, but that's about it. I wouldn't pay that much to make pasta with Ethan Page. Secondly, I'm going to play one of the greatest theme songs of all time.
You think you know me?
There's a couple of new sounds in here. What's this one?
New? Like new?
One just says punch. There's no.
Oh, I think I added a punch sound effect by accident, but I figure it'll come in handy. Do you
Not
want to try
hearing
it out?
anything.
No? Oh.
There is this one.
Shut up, bitch.
Hell yeah,
Hear
it
that.
works. Love
Welcome
it.
back,
Love it, son.
Shut Up Bitch, to the Ope-Eh three-way soundboard. We'll get the rest of them in there, especially because we need one of them today because of the fucking Brock and Oba match. By God. But on this day, June the 3rd, 2002, on an episode of Raw, Kevin Nash would say, "And welcome the newest member of the NWO." And we'll do one of these things that they like to do. And then, "I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. Got the looks to drive the girls wild. Got the moves to keep them moving. Got chills running down their spines.
We're gonna do the whole song?
Sexy boy. Sexy boy." Shawn Michaels
We gotta get
returned
to
to
that part.
WWE television for the first time in a long time and joined the NWO. And then 2007, One Night Stand, Extreme Rules was the name. It was the third One Night Stand, but it was the first Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Bobby Lashley would defeat Durag Vince to win back the ECW World Championship, which is enough of that as I'd like to talk to. And John Cena would defeat the Great Khali in I believe it was a Falls Count Anywhere match to retain the WWE Championship in a surprising banger. Cena, 2007 Cena is somebody that's like, can't really touch him when it comes to like bell to bell that year. That was his best year besides 2015. And he brought out the best in the Great Khali, which is saying something. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. That's the only time I will ever see go check out a Great Khali match. So
back in the Super Cena era.
Yeah, that was Super Cena at his peak. So But
so what about the one where he squished Rey Mysterio's? Didn't he squish someone's head to the point where their ears started bleeding, or am I mad?
That was 2007 Khali. That's because like a month later he won the world title, the world heavyweight title in a battle royal because Edge had to vacate it, and then he held it upside down, and then he feuded with Batista for like 3 months over it, and part of that was the Khali vice grip, which was like, as a kid at that time, I was like, that's he's gonna kill somebody. Like,
well, yeah, I think I remember him like it was like Ray or somebody.
It was
Ray.
Like his hands completely covered his head.
Yeah, and the mask like shifted around. I thought it was just like deflating him.
And then they gave him the blood capsules so blood would come out of their mouth. It was a great visual.
Yeah. Made him look like a killer.
But speaking of Rey Mysterio, he had some shoddy commentary this last Saturday at El Noche de los Grandes. It took place at the Arena Monterrey in Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico. In the first match, Rey Fenix would defeat Laredo Kid to win the AAA World Cruiserweight title. Oh, Jesus.
Continue.
This was a fucking great match. That's the way you kick off, especially in this. That crowd was great all night, hot as hell. And that's the way to do it. And Rey Fenix is finally getting his legs back. Kind of had him cut out from under him after last year, which is unfortunate. That's not really his fault. But fucking banger. That's all I really got on it. El Grande Pacarfano. What did you think?
I thought it was great. I see a lot of people kind of shitting on the notion that Rey Fenix is kind of being, what do they want to say, like relegated to being in AAA's cruiserweight division, being their cruiserweight champion for the second time, especially after he's been their world champion in the past. But like Laredo Kid, man, he was in a tag match. Last time AAA had not a singles 5-star match, but just like a general 5-star match. Laredo Kid was part of a tag team in that. And Laredo Kid is very, I feel, underrated and very overlooked by the general wrestling scene. Like within Lucha Libre, I feel like he's pretty well known. He was great on TNA when he was over there. I mean, he was going to have a great match with Rey Fenix, right? Especially to open the show. Yeah, I felt like it was a good showcase of like a true solid like lucha match, like going back and forth. I thought, it was weird seeing Ray get his shit kicked in for the first part of the match. But I mean, I think just more to really show a testament to like just how good Laredo Kid is, and I hope we get to see more of that going forward. But yeah, fucking animo Rey Phoenix, and I hope he reps the cruiserweight championship proud because God knows WWE won't do the same for their cruiserweights. Didn't do the same for their cruiserweights unless you're Enzo Amore, or Pac. But yes, terrific opener.
Pete, what do you think?
What are your thoughts?
Yeah. For I think the way they started to open up the show with them, great idea. Got the crowd pumped up from the beginning. I feel like this is a positive direction for Ray Phoenix because I feel like there's too many times in SmackDown he's not being used.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully this will elevate him more as far as getting more TV time. I'm in the U.S., but hopefully at least show up on Raw. I mean on SmackDown representing the cruiserweight belt from AAA.
Right. Well, and I've said this too. Like when it comes to the mid card or like a lot of the scene on SmackDown, even compared to Raw, like I feel, and Pierce, you might have thought a different way about it a little bit. I feel like the scene is kind of crowded, or there's a lot of people that they're not really even using to full effect within like the mid card scene.
Now they're going back down to 2 hours. It's going to be even worse. So,
well, yeah, I don't know how that passed, but like, there we go again.
USA Network doesn't care; they got paid. So,
well, I guess Braun Strowman's show is on directly afterwards, so they probably finagled something with that, and Braun's probably laughing.
Sure, was a hit. Adam's
it
a
is.
Good host.
Can't argue with it. Yeah.
Shout out Adam. He's my boy. My surrogate cousin.
Is that how you guys identified over at the
Yeah.
Where was the dam? Where's the dam again?
Neo Show.
Neo Show. Thank you.
We have a familial connection, and it just like he's my boy. So
yeah, I mean, and the thing is too, like, I might say this now because I don't think it's too hot of a take for our next episode, but I feel like AAA is going to be like one of the hottest things by the end of this year. I feel like it's definitely like a show that's on the rise. You're catching a lot of new eyes with this event and everything that's gone on with it, the storylines. Undertaker has been a fucking phenomenal booker with his time in AAA so far, and I'm very excited to see where things go coming into the summer and going beyond that. But
Triple Mania is going to be insane.
It is. It's weird, like, because they're hosting the first night at the Luxor Hotel. Like, how many people?
I don't
is that
like
really
that
at
all.
Fit?
I do not
how
like that.
How many people is that going to fit? I don't know.
It's so when I went to the Palms for Bloodsport, it was probably like 2,000 people, maybe, and that's being generous. So I would assume it'd be pretty similar. America does not deserve that show at all. The United States doesn't. That's my piece on it.
Pete, were you in Vegas last year?
I was last in Vegas about 2 years ago.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But I think the arena is small where they're having it at. So
yeah,
they're probably better doing it in LA like they did last year for all.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. We'll get into it more with Clash in Italy, but these American crowds are full of fucking filthy casuals. So
yeah, hopefully PK doesn't mess with AAA. It's kind of what I worry about.
El Hijo de Vikingo defeated El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. by pinfall, 7 minutes. Homo sapiens rise. And I'm not doing this for the tribal chief because he doesn't deserve it from me.
Oh, okay.
Unless it's Solo Sikoa, because Solo Sikoa will always deserve it. But
as he stands in the crowd.
Another great match. I really like the finish. Omos punched a dude while standing straight up front. Wagner was in the ring on the ropes, and he punched him while standing. He didn't have to jump at all like most people do. He straight up punched him from standing from outside the ring. You don't realize how big that guy is even in that moment. Brandon, we were 20 feet away from him, and you realize how fucking huge that man is.
He is a big string bean, my dude.
He's not a string bean.
Has the easiest job. I shouldn't say the easiest job. He has one of the greatest jobs in the world. Realize this man's gone and had a stint over in Pro Wrestling Noah, and they're filming him just being fucking tall, walking around the streets of Tokyo, just fucking winning their tag. I believe he won the GHC tag titles with.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it is.
He had to vacate them because they brought him back for no reason.
And then, wouldn't you know it, he ends up in Mexico, and now he's just palling around with Vikingo. Just does a little slow saunter to the ring. And like you said, just bop. That's his gimmick. That's all he's got to do. Check.
Big boy.
Yeah, toss around.
Yeah, the match is really good.
Bit.
I like the interferences that were there. Mini Vikingo is fucking insane, but like El Hijo de Vikingo is the dude. I can't wait to see what he does with the Latin American title.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of hoping that El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. would have probably kept the title for at least one event, maybe lost it at Triple Mania, but I wasn't mad at it. I mean, Vikingo, it's hard to justify keeping the world title off of him, unless, of course, you realize that you got Dominic Mysterio as your champion, who also happens to seemingly never be at these shows because he's too busy with Raw, where apparently they don't know how to book him, according to his own testament. But
he's being booked fine on Raw right now.
Yeah, he'll be fine. I mean, Vikingo, I think this is a good spot for him. I think like being the leader of El Ojo, he needs something to kind of carry around, and obviously any title you put on Vikingo at this juncture will, at least in AAA, generate some attention, right? It'll generate attention to the belt. It'll generate,
Dude's
attention
a
towards the faces.
Type of wrestler. So.
Oh, absolutely. Well, there's a reason why WWE decided to put their ink on his contract majority. Like, he could go probably to Raw, SmackDown, NXT anytime he wants to, and like they'll just be like, "Oh yeah, here's Vikingo. He's one of us," and that's it. So, yeah, no, impressive match. Maybe not the best match of the card. In fact, maybe one of like the bottom rung matches of the card comparatively speaking, but still a very good match as part of a great weekend. Pete, what'd you think?
Vikingo, yeah, I feel like he's always putting on good matches. In a way, I feel like before WWE acquired AAA, he was him along with Del Rio were the faces of AAA.
Yeah.
If anything, he was the face before Del Rio, and then they kind of forced him into becoming a heel because the fans still love Del Rio.
The AAA fans are very weird in that fact, because they it's how Vince McMahon books wrestling, and that the legends are more important than the current faces. And if the legends can win, they will. I mean, I'm glad they didn't start this partnership with mega champion Alberto Del Douchebag. That's just me. So, but go ahead, Pete.
But yeah, I mean, because I believe, before that, that Vikingo was a face, but the fans kept booing him because they wanted Del Rio to be the champion at the time.
Yeah,
if I recall correctly.
No, yeah, that sounds and Matt, it's interesting because I feel like the Mexican fan base, to the point you made, Pierce, I feel like I've heard this said in other circles as well, that Lucha Libre is much more of a legacy kind of variant of pro wrestling, just by virtue of the fact that you have gimmicks, like Dr. Wagner, that can get passed down from generation to generation, and it's nothing that people get that tired of. Or La Parka, right? Yeah, yeah, he ain't the chairman like he used to be, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, man. It's legacy promotions, and there's a lot of value in gimmicks that get passed down and names that get passed down from generation to generation. And Del Rio is part of a wrestling family. Like he's, and I believe that was not necessarily like put to the fore when he was in WWE, but it was mentioned. I'm trying to remember which family he was a part of.
He's
It
the
wasn't
son
the
of Mil
Guard,
Mascaras.
Oh yeah, Mil Mascaras. Yeah. Yep. So obviously, like massive legacy there.
You gotta ask me these questions, Brandon. There's a reason I am the inaugural, reigning, and defending main event network trivia champion.
I'll drink to that.
You can find that there. They put part of that live stream up, Pete. If you want to find it, you want to see me tear up some wrestling trivia.
Okay. Just got the Wikipedia up there. There.
You ask a question, there's a good chance I'll know, like an out there question. I'll probably know it. So,
Okay.
How's your trivia skills, Pete?
Oh, I feel like it depends. Sometimes when it's from the flashback, from the past, I'll have to think about it. But once I get a hint, I should catch on.
Right on. Yeah, man.
Especially now with AAA, I feel like now I'm taking more time to learn more about the history.
AAA, when it comes to history, I'm not going to tell you much, but like I know some. But like you'll have to check it out. I was crushing it. And Brandon was in the comments being like, this shit's easy peasy for him.
Yeah, I tried to get in there in the TNA questions.
Yeah, I was gonna know some of those, but not all of them. The War Raiders defeated Pagano and Psycho Clown for the World Tag Team Championships. First things first, I did fact check this. They were WCPW World Tag Champions. They were the third ever after
War Machine.
When they were War Machine, they beat the Swords of Essex, Will Ospreay, and somebody else. I can't think of what his name was, but I remember that match specifically because his partner had some stomach issue and had to be like taken to the back and was like puking up stomach acid. And Will then wrestled the rest of that match by himself.
Of course he would. That's why he's Will Ospreay.
Dude's the fucking man. So this, as a match, I think it was fine, but it was more about the story more than anything between Pagano and Psycho Clown. First things first, Psycho Clown being able to rip off the clown face and then having the flesh face, fucking rules. That just looks cool every time he does it. Good for the War Raiders. They're just chalking up that Hall of Fame legacy even more. Yeah, match was fine. It was very much the, hey, this is going to bring down the crowd a little bit match, and I think it definitely needed that going into what was the main event and was going to be the main event no matter what. But yeah, I thought it was fine, and Pagano and Psycho Clown look like maybe that's headed for Triple Mania. So
yeah, I mean, they needed to kind of pull the Band-Aid now. I mean, this is building for a bit. War Raiders, I was kind of here and there about them joining AAA, right? I mean, they kind of had their ho-hum tag title match, was the weakest on the card last year at Mania. They're still, in my opinion, a great tag team. And then, what happens with Obafemi, I understand you got to make him look like a fucking world beater, which he still is. And we could talk about that at either today or the next time, because there's a lot to talk about with Oba. But talking about the War Raiders, they're still an A1 tag team in my book. They're a bit on, the older side, slightly heftier. They don't move quite as quick, but for big men in the game at their age, they still hold with any tag team, especially tag teams that exist nowadays in WWE, because how many tag teams you got left in WWE these days? Who's to say, right? How much longer any of these guys are going to stick around. I'm glad they held on to War Raiders. I'm glad they're getting this shot in AAA to really add to their collection. So I guess they're, from what I understand, the only other team to hold NXT, WWE tag, New Japan tag, and AAA tag, and Ring of Honor tag was FTR, to my understanding. So, I mean, and now when you throw in the fact that they're also WCPW champions in Europe, they're breathing pretty rare air as a tag team. Kind of like, I I don't want to say just like Road Warriors because I have to go back and see like their international stamps.
I mean, Road Warriors
but
won tag everywhere they went, so
they did, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like
they were bigger stars. The Road Warriors were than most of the main eventers. Them when they went to Japan, they would get swarmed like they were Michael Jackson. When they would come out, it was called and still is to this day the Road Warrior Pop. So,
but I mean, when we talk about, again, the number of stamps and the belts that you can win from like numerous countries, numerous promotions across the world, War Raiders are starting to breathe more rarefied air now, and I'm glad that again they're getting this kind of I don't want to call it like a second chance, but it's a breath of fresh air when we're considering the War Raiders and what they're doing in the scene. Pete, what'd you think about it?
Good match. I thought it was good. That it was good to see the War Raiders get the belts. I feel like it helps put the shine on them since they're not, the tag team division really isn't being used much on Raw or SmackDown.
Right.
The only thing I do wonder, and it's not just for them, but just putting all the AAA belts on WWE stars. I do wonder, like, far as the long term, like, is it really going to help them, or is it kind of hurting the homegrown talent at AAA?
Yeah, and I look at that too, and it's interesting because I've read argument that you want your belts, especially with a burgeoning promotion now that's kind of getting more attention internationally, like AAA, right? They want to put belts on faces that people globally will like instantly recognize, right? And that's not to speak anything ill of Pagano or Psycho Clown, because they've been holding it down in AAA, oh my God, since I feel like since I was watching on Telemundo, like
Psycho
years
Clown
ago.
has more Triple Mania main events than anybody in history. So he's been around a long time.
But even that, again, like when they look at that and they're like, we want to appeal more to like a global audience. That's not to say Psycho Clown is not important for losing the tag titles with Pagano, because they're still going to have a program going into Triple Mania. But when it comes to like, right, like this additional exposure, like who are your champions? You got Dominic Mysterio, you got El Hijo del Vikingo, right, who is renowned everywhere. Like he's been on TNA, he's been in AEW, right? I don't think he's been to Japan.
I think he has, but probably not
very long. Not for maybe more than a match or two. I mean, I don't recall him on like, at least not on New Japan. I don't know if he's been in All Japan or like DDT.
I'd have to do the research, but
yeah, same. But that is to say too, like Vikingo technically WWE, but also like when you consider like kind of like the grassroots talent in AAA right now, like he's probably their most recognizable name, I would argue. It'll be interesting to see like what talents that don't have like the WWE brand per se, or like the WWE feel or the look. It'll be interesting to see how many of those start to kind of sprout from what they're currently developing within.
Yeah, we're in a transition period right now. We're still in the Renaissance, quote unquote, era, but like we're in a transition period. The new stars are very, very close to breaking that ceiling. Speaking of new stars, in a no disqualification, lucha de apuestas, Mascara contra Mascara. El Grande Americano defeated original recipe El Grande Americano and earned the right to unmask him, and original El Grande unmasked, and it was Chad Gable. Who could have foreseen this? Not I. As for the match, you can bookmark this right now, clip this, do whatever the fuck you want with it. Ope-Eh Awards 2027. This is my match of the year candidate. This is the best match that has happened this year. And it happened 5 days after Double or Nothing, which had 4 of the best matches this year. Happened a month after the best WrestleMania main event in the past like 5 years. That includes Cody Roman too, but that's like really good in one way, but that like as a pure wrestling match, Punk and Roman is the best WrestleMania main event we've seen in the past 10 years. And like this was perfect. It was everything I wanted and then some. Bells, whistles, amazing wrestling, amazing storytelling, amazing character work. I don't have a better word for it than perfect. I don't give a fuck what Dave Meltzer says. That's a 5-star match. That's a 6-star match. Like,
did he not rate it 5 stars?
It hasn't been announced. He'll rate it
I thought
tomorrow or Friday.
he spoke very highly of it, I will say.
It was perfect. El Grande original Chad Gable came out to booze. El Grande came out to a hero's welcome and got a fucking Road Warrior pop, for lack of a better term. And then it was just off to the races. Guitar shots, chair shots, bleeding on both sides, and it was a match that deserved blood because this was a blood feud. The interference from Bruto y Julio, and then Rayo and Bravo came out to stop it, and then it was just it was perfect. I cannot give this match enough fucking praise because there's not enough words to give it praise. The praise it deserves. Like I just can't stop singing this match's praises because it's that damn good. And it got a repeat showing on Raw this week, and that should say something. And
I bet Corey had a hand in that too.
And we were thinking it was going to happen at WrestleMania. WrestleMania did not deserve that fucking match. That match was for AAA and AAA only, for those fans that made it as good as it was, and for the performers of El Grande Americano and Chad Gable that put the work in to make that feud the feud of the year, and nothing will surpass it. I don't think anything will. And I don't think there will be a match that surpasses it this year. So Ope-Eh Awards 2027, second week of January, when we do it like we do every year. My match of the year will be El Grande versus El Grande.
I think that's hard to argue. I mean, when you look at, if people have been singing praises of Chad Gable for a long time, or even El Grande Americano Original, which Michael Cole called it many moons ago, as did I. We're all just going to sit here and act like this wasn't Chad the whole time. But
I didn't know. They showed it was different people on TV.
With the exact same body type, with the exact same singlet, with a little bit of tassel
Chad
here.
Gable was talking to Adam Pearce, and in the background, El Grande was getting arrested.
It wasn't El Grande. It was a man in an El Grande mask. It was a replica.
Does not matter. I didn't know.
It was an imposter, Pierce.
Just like you try and act like I don't know who El Grande Pacarfano is, even though you've masked yourself today and you unmasked and masked yourself on Love And last week, you tried to say you weren't, even though you absolutely said you were.
No, we're not going to talk about last week. We're talking about this week. We're talking about, like you said, one of the greatest matches of the year, if not the greatest match. Purely a testament to storytelling in pro wrestling. We have been blessed by Under Tacos with some of the greatest. What?
Papa Taker.
Yeah, everyone calls him Under Tacos, man. I dig it.
Well, I think people were calling Triple H Papa H back in the day. He's Papa Taker.
Brother, he is looking out for Triple A, man. When you look at a guy like Chad Gable, who, again, people were singing his praises for the longest and talk about how much more he deserves, he and El Grande Americano, now El Único, put on a fucking hell of a show. And there was brutality, sangre, there was table spots, there was drama. What I really appreciated about it is that they told the story, and throughout the match, similar to Bloodline Rules, they rewarded fans who followed along. You know, you bring back, oh Jesus H Christ, I'm thinking he was even in the fucking. Say what?
Is it It's Pinky,
Yeah,
right?
Pimpy. Yeah, Pimpinella. Pimpinella. Sangrita. I'm trying to remember. Escarlata.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, Pimpinella Escarlata. Yeah, brings back Pimpy, gets his vengeance on El Grande, but he still fights through that shit. It was definitely an incredibly worthy main event, an incredibly worthy match to match the title of the show. It was El Noche de los Grandes, and it was as grande as you can make it. People were going crazy. Kids were crying, women crying in the crowds. There's celebrity involvement. There was romance. There was drama. Like, you couldn't have asked for a better show and a better result in that case. And Chad Gable got his flowers from the audience after unmasking and going,
Oh my God, it's Brandon. What a shock.
Mi nombre es Brandon. But Chad Gable revealed himself. Apparently he has a middle name too. Didn't know they put that in his profile. But yeah, it was great. There was it added a lot of character to Chad. I'm very excited to see him back and actually doing his thing. I want him to go after Penta.
Route to go is that at SummerSlam, with a renewed sense of like respect for Lucha Libre since his time as El Grande, because he became El Grande Americano because he could not be luchadors. That was the whole story. I think he has to beat Penta at SummerSlam.
I agree.
That's the only way they can go. I don't think they do, because knowing WWE, they're gonna wait too long. But that's what they should do.
I think you've got a great triple threat potentially. I think you've got Ethan Page, who's still fucking pissed off that he lost the Saturday Night's Main Event shot. I think you got Chad Gable, who's got something to prove against Penta. Whether or not you see Chad Penta as one-on-one first, or if you involve them in a triple threat, because you got these three terrific North American wrestlers representing their respective countries in Canada, Mexico, United States. I think that's a great triple threat.
And it's Minnesota. Chad Gable's from Minnesota.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's where my mind is kind of leaning to. Maybe it's just a singles match to start, right? But there's a lot of good that comes from Chad Gable removing the mask. As he said in his socials, talk about how the mask is dead, but he's never felt more alive. And this man, mind you, is in his early 40s now. And it's like he's entering a new phase in his career where he could easily become everything we've talked him up to be over the years. Pete, what are your thoughts on this match, on these developments that led from Lucha de Apuestas?
I mean, I'm along with you guys. I feel like it's match of the year candidate. I feel like just everything building up to it was it just showed how great wrestling is. I mean, from the battles they were having leading up to it to Grande's girlfriend getting fired. I mean, and even just the things behind the scenes, like the parades they were having for Al Grande. Like, man, he's like becoming a national icon over there. I mean, they even made murals of him.
Yeah.
And then just the build up to their walkout, it had that big fight feel, like a Mike Tyson Mayweather days. Just with Grande, with the entourage and him waving a Mexican flag. I'm like, man, they're just nailing this like perfect. And then with the crowd too. I mean, everything was just amazing. And the fact that Netflix showed it after Raw, I'm like, wow, it's really getting the credit it deserves. Hopefully,
sure.
yeah, I'm glad to see Gable come back to being Chad Gable. Hopefully, he can get an IC title or US title run.
Mm-hmm.
Make him the machine that he is, and can give him that push.
Do we think there's enough time for Chad to be a world champion? Because I know there's some people who say that he's worthy of that credential too.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
I have faith. I believe in Chad Gable.
You think that R-Truth
amazing.
and Austin Theory will be world champions?
Okay,
So,
but let's talk about Chad
doesn't-
Gable compared to those two now. Come on. Chad Gable, we could argue about truth and theory, right? I'll argue about truth and theory.
It'd just be
I don't
you.
know how many. I don't know how many people can argue about Chad Gable, though, man. I feel like he's pretty universally respected. His credentials speak for
It's
themselves.
hard for me to say. I can't say yes or no right now. It's too early to say. It has to depend on the follow-up for his return as Chad Gable. All right, switching gears. Clash in Italy was Sunday. Tour in Italy. Crowd was incredible. The USA, you need to do fucking better and stop being such filthy fucking casuals. That's all I have to say about that. Cody Rhodes defeats Gunther in 11 and a half minutes. This match was pretty good up until the finish. That finish was fucking stupid. I don't have much else to say.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it. It kind of sucked the wind out of my sails a bit for the show. If anything, if we're comparing it to Noche de los Grandes, I feel like when you had an opener like Phoenix and Laredo Kid compared to this one, and I mean, I had some high hopes for Cody Gunther in that I was hoping that Gunther was going to beat Cody for the title in Italy. Crowd was pretty split. It sounded like it was going to be pro Gunther at the start there, but then Cody's music hits and we got to sing along to, that whole shit. And then
you don't like people singing themes. That is a constant for you.
I like them singing.
You have issues with it for CM Punk. You have issues with it for Cody. You had issues with it for Jey Uso.
Okay, I have no issue with a song they were singing later on in this show, but we'll get to that when we get to that. On this note, the way it ended was fucking garbage. I don't know what they're planning on it except to lurch things out for one more PLE because it kind of cements the plans they have for certain wrestlers for this certain day that's coming up. I'm excited either way because we're going to be there and it's going to be fucking crazy and we got the hookup and we're going to be drunk. But Cody Gunther ending was just very deflating. Pete, what'd you think?
Yeah, it wasn't up to my expectations. Obviously, I think there's going to be a rematch coming, and coming off the high from Triple A the night before, it's kind of hard to compete with that.
Mm-hmm.
But
it really is.
I was still thinking of still thinking of the main event while watching while watching the Clash in Italy. So yeah, I mean, it didn't really do too much for me.
Yeah, it'll go on. I agree. I think we're bound to see another match. Cody kind of expressed as much as well, but I mean, man, it was not the best start to a show that I've ever seen, especially for a first time ever type of event. So,
and plus, I feel like the surprise wasn't really going to be there. Having the opening match and then have Gunther win, I didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah,
it should have. Gunther should be champion right now, but I get it. They want to save it a little bit, and he should beat Cody. I don't know if he does, but it's definitely not. Cody doesn't need to walk into SummerSlam as world champ. So, Rhea Ripley retains against Jade Cargill. Fucking great match. Jade and Rhea have insane chemistry. Jade seems to really be becoming a great professional wrestler. And having a dance partner like Rhea is definitely a great part in that. And it was just a great match. The interferences were fun. Charlotte and Rhea getting along is nice. And then after the show, Charlotte got jumped by Jade and the Baddies, so it seems like they're going to go the Jade-Charlotte feud route, which I think is a really great feud moving forward. What Rhea does, I'm not sure, but I think it's going to have to do with whoever wins Queen of the Ring. Because I think what Liv does, it does not need a Queen of the Ring winner, even if it's, well, it depends on if she gets to the finals of Queen of the Ring, which, again, her being in the tournament is fucking stupid.
Did she even know she was in that shit?
She did. She
like,
said
bring up
she
the
did
visual.
it because nobody was on her level. So she
sure.
wants to try and go for 2 titles. And no, Brandon, we don't need to unify the titles.
I'm not saying we need to. I'm very against it. I'm just saying there was a possibility in some alternate universe that it might be happening.
It shouldn't happen.
No.
It shouldn't. I think Liv goes towards a feud with Io. I think that makes sense. Rhea, I think, should face Queen of the Ring winner JC Jane. I think that JC's super hot right now. She is the most over heel on SmackDown, and it's not close. And
baller theme too.
I
Fatal
think
Influence's theme is fucking great.
I think that should be the route going forward. Brandon, what do you think of the match?
I mean, I echo your sentiment in that. I was saying it up in the chat, like these two bring out the best in each other. I think you have a 2 for 2. I think honestly, this may have even been better than their WrestleMania match. Like the back and forth, and Jade, like, you know, selling like crazy for Rhea, and you know, both of them having to adjust their offense to kind of get one over on the other. It brings more out of Rhea when she's facing a powerhouse like Jade, who she can't bully around and who she can't just muscle over her shoulder and shit. Likewise with Jade, rather, like she has to adjust to someone who is somewhat on her level, doesn't, maybe not necessarily matching her, but can certainly pull out a more diverse offense. And she has to cope with that and try to use her strengths to her advantage and try to morph and adapt on the fly, which that spot where it was Jade on the shoulders of Rhea and then Jade flips her over the top, Rhea just fucking bends over the apron, and then Rhea still holds on, takes Jade, slaps her on the fucking apron, which is the hardest part of the ring, by the way, in case you weren't aware of this. And like just Rhea just pulling out top rope, you know, drop kicks and, you know, kicks from the ground and all this. Just she always brings out a varied offense when she's facing Jade Cargill. And I think their real life, or at least what appeared to be real life beef, kind of adds to the intrigue of their matches and kind of adds to the bit of mustard that they throw into their performances with each other. I don't think it's the last time we ever see them together. I am glad that they're going in a direction with Jade not having a title and having to try to carry a feud just on the merits of itself. That being said, it's with Charlotte Flair, who's arguably the greatest, relatively inarguably, the greatest women's wrestler of all time. And she and Rhea had a terrific women's title match at WrestleMania 39. So I'm very curious to see what Charlotte's style specifically will draw out of Jade, because they've said it on commentary as well. Jade continues to grow. The company clearly still sees something in her in spite of some of the controversy she might have elicited. If anything, it might have helped her. But they still see a lot of gold in Jade, and Jade is definitely carrying her end of the bargain on things. Pete, what you think?
Well, I might have to contest to what you said, because according to Sports Illustrated, Becky Lynch is the greatest.
It's Becky. It's Charlotte's up there, but it's Becky.
Not just Sports Illustrated.
Yeah. But it was two powerhouses going at it. It was better than I thought, because I've been one of those people that, like, I don't know if I'm really feeling Jade having, you know, the push she was getting and having the belt. But I feel like her and Rhea complement each other pretty well, and it was one of her best matches for statements. And then her going to a feud with Charlotte, that should, I think, just even raise her stock more.
Yeah, for sure. And it gets Charlotte back into singles talks again too. And I think that might be the direction they're starting to kind of lean in, both with Alexa and with Charlotte, trying to reintroduce them into the singles scene a little bit. And I think it's great. I think, you know, it's about time we get Alexa in focus again. Maybe add her to the women's US title picture, or hell, maybe both of them. We'll see. But like, I don't know. In any case, I feel like, especially against someone like Jade, Charlotte would be a terrific dance partner for whatever match they want to put Jade in with. So again, like you say, keep the stocks up to the moon with Jade Cargill. Absolutely.
And Alexa is still so over with the fans. So needs one of the
She's
belts
a
to go
legend.
against West or IC.
Mm-hmm.
She's a legend. Speaking of legends, in what was my match of the night for Clash in Italy, Brock Lesnar defeats Ope-Eh in 6 minutes. First and foremost, Italy sang Brock's theme, which was
Great.
You could tell
Loved
Brock
it.
was fucking loving it. And you could tell he loves working with Oba because there's video of him bouncing up and down but doing the Oba strut. And it's like Brock wants to work with Oba, and it shows that he cares. And like, he attacked him before the bell, hit 4 F5s, Oba kicked out. He hits another one, Oba kicks out. He hits one on the table, Oba gets back up at 7. He's out. And then he just gets back up. And it's just like, the Kimura didn't work. It didn't matter what Brock did to Oba. He was getting up. And he just got Brock. You could like tell he was scared and he was shocked. And like, he was just like, I don't know what to do. And Brock Lesnar's never been on the back foot like that. And Brock is very good at expressions and like showing fear and selling. Like, nobody was better that the Undertaker was there and having like a shocked, kind of scared expression than Brock. And it happened at that moment when he got up at 7. Like, Brock was sitting in the corner and just kind of relaxing. He was resigning himself to a count out win. Brock Lesnar did not give a shit. He's like, I can win by count out. If that's what it means, fine. I'm okay with it. When has Brock Lesnar ever been okay with that? And it was just like, people are like, it's too early for Oba to lose. No, because if Oba just went on a winning streak till he won the world title, which he will possibly by the end of the year, possibly at WrestleMania, like, people are going to be like, oh, Oba's undefeated. It'll be like what Donnie was saying when Cody didn't win at 39. He's like, I would not have liked if Cody was undefeated up until he won the title. Like, there's no stakes there. But getting Oba's first loss out this early will help Oba in the long run. And it didn't matter he lost. Everybody heard that fucking reaction on Monday, and then the reaction when he won, and the reaction when he was killing people and then finishing his entrance on Monday. 7 F5s. Nobody ever kicked out of 6. And it took 7 to barely beat Ope-Eh. And I mean barely. He was up and sitting and moving and ready to go again. While Brock was like kind of resigned to lose and got lucky. And I'm glad this is a 3-match series, because if it's as good as that match, then I'm good. Sign me the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody was saying this is the Brock we wanted at WrestleMania. Now, I know, like you said, that the WrestleMania match was booked perfectly, and I would actually incline to agree with you on that. That being said, seeing Brock and being reminded of just what of a fucking freak of nature he is at 48, going on 49 years old, just springing down from a fall from grace the way he did, just being able to hoist a 300-plus pound man to hit 7 F5s and to do as much as he did, even in that short time, it's just a fucking dynamo at that age, with that size, taking up another man of greater size. It's again, testament to just what a one-of-one Brock Lesnar truly is. And I sit and I ponder what a third match between the two of them would look like. I'm afraid for the fact that we have Oba advancing in King of the Ring, because, like, who's to say how far he goes, right?
I'll fantasy book a little bit here, because the next round, his 4 choices for opponents, there's one that sticks out that's probably going to be his opponent, and that's Braun Breaker.
Yes,
and Braun
please.
Breaker is aligned with Paul Heyman.
Yes, he is.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's not going to be like their match of matches. That's not. Braun Oba is going to be a fucking barn burner regardless.
But it's
There's
going
probably
to
going to
end
be shenanigans.
in shenanigans and controversy. There's going to be a ref bump,
Yes.
and Brock Lesnar is going to come in, F5 him, and then pick him up for a spear or something.
Yeah, probably. But dude, that match is making me fucking salivate. I think Obafemi, unfortunately, doesn't make it all the way to the end in King of the Ring because we have to have the third match, and it has to be in Minnesota.
They could actually do something interesting and have him win, and then have him face Brock in one night, and then win the world title the next. They do
double
something
duty.
interesting like that.
That would be baller. I mean, imagine this. It's like, Jericho bragging all the time back in 2001, I believe, when he beat Austin and Rock in the same night to become the new WWF Undisputed Champion. Imagine if it's Obafemi retiring Brock Lesnar in his home state and then beating the tribal chief. Now, I mean, who's to say if he actually beats him, right? Because it seems like they want to carry this out a little bit. But imagine the fucking clout that it brings a man to fully retire Brock Lesnar after beating him at WrestleMania in 5 minutes and then going toe-to-toe and possibly beating the OTC with this resurgent bloodline night after night. That would be unparalleled. That being said, like, this was it was a better match than their Mania match, I thought. That being said, their Mania match was booked pretty perfectly for what we expected it to be, but then, of course,
if their
TKO
Mania match
comes a
was
calling.
booked perfectly, this was booked perfectly for big meaty men slapping meat. This was the epitome of meat slapping.
Yes. Pete, did you enjoy this this vulgar display of meat slapping?
Yeah, because it makes me more excited for the trilogy. Because at first, when the match started and Brock started with the F5s, I'm like, okay, don't tell me we're getting a repeat of what happened to Kofi Kingston. But the fact that that Oba survived 7 F5s is like, okay, he's gonna take that with him. That he's the only person that has overcome that. Because I was worried. I was like, don't tell me that it's going to be a squash match, but it just shows how, in the long run, it makes Oba look stronger.
The loss is going to help Oba more than it'll hinder him. And one thing we saw in NXT with Oba is that when he loses, he takes time, he gets better. Like when he lost to Ricky Saints, he took time off, he got better, and then he came back, and Ricky was doing the same things to beat him like he did the first time, and it didn't matter because Oba was better.
There's a pretty great Zerg rush at the end there, too, on Monday when he advanced. This comes out from nowhere, runs up, just fucking slaps Mello in the chest.
Everybody.
Yeah, just tosses fucking Talatonga over the table like a fucking shot put. I mean,
Talatonga is 300 pounds and 7 foot tall. Like, he made him look like a child.
Yep. Yeah, and people are like, oh, that's going to be the next one. It's like, it made me think of like Brock Lesnar versus Test, because I think a lot of people, I was watching Brock's rookie year collection on the Vault, and I remember like how people felt back in the day about like Brock and Test, like, oh yeah, Test is a big dude, you can't overlook him, he's 7 feet tall, he's got the big boot, and then Brock just Brocks him. And
Test had the best big boot of all time. Do not.
He did. I am not arguing that at all. It was
just
it cracked.
Test did
every
have the
fucking
big
time.
He had the big boot, not just any big boot. The big boot.
Yes.
Sol Ruca defeats Becky Lynch 15 minutes to become the new IC champ. Another really good match. I did not expect Sol to win. I like that there was still the story between Becky and Carr, because she tried to smash Sol into Carr, and Carr got out of the ring, and then Becky had maybe, I don't know if it was a visible pinfall, but she had her pinned, and then Sol kicked out. And then I really like the finish where Becky tried some shit from the second rope and Sol hung on, and Sol snatched her and she hit it clean, which is her first real clean one since she's been on the main roster. Sorry to say. But like, yeah, it was a very good match. Good for Sol. Yeah, I mean, they have to do Becky Lynch versus Jessica Carr at SummerSlam. They have to.
Yes, they do. That'll be such a great fucking match. And Becky's in a position, I've said this, Becky's in a spot where she can afford to just put people over. She doesn't have to be the most, I mean, she already is. She doesn't have to continue to be the most dominant female intercontinental champion of all time. Like, she's going to be that for a while. But she's in a
the
great
greatest
spot.
women's IC champ ever, but the
Yeah.
belt's only been around for 3 years, so it's or 2
It's
years.
going to stay that way. It's going to stay that way for 3 more years, I want to say. I don't think people
Not
are gonna
even. It's
question
only
it
been
for
around a
quite
year,
a while.
hasn't it?
I think so.
Year and a
I
half,
think
yeah.
so.
Because it was last January. So
Yeah. Yes. That being said, I think I'd love to see a fucking Lynch car program finally. I think Soul winning the title here, a lot of people were like, oh, it's too soon, all this, that. I don't know. We had the Maxine Dupree program, and that kind of paid its own dividends. I feel like Soul is in a similar spot to Maxine, where like she can benefit off of the rub that she gets off of beating Becky Lynch. I think she'll take it further than Maxine did, just by virtue of Soul's talent compared to Maxine. You know, not to speak ill of Maxine necessarily, because she came a long way in the time that she did, and she showed out until things kind of fell. But I think Soul has the potential to carry the IC title for a bit. I think she's a great face champ. I think the women's IC title has needed a good, like, long-standing face champ for a bit. I mean, Lyra, you could say, was one of those two. I feel like we could use another instance like that, where we have someone who's carrying the belt, defending it well. And I think I'd be curious to see who steps up to contention for the title now that Soul is champion. I'm curious to see what kind of matches they'll pull out. I mean, Pete, what did you think?
Yeah, I saw Ruka. I'm a fan of hers, so it was good to see her get that push, get the belt. Although I kind of wish she stuck around in NXT a little bit to get the NXT women's belt there and maybe save the botches that she had since she got here.
I think part of it was that she was a bit nervous coming up to the main roster. You could see like some visible nerves on her face. So maybe it just took a moment for her to get comfortable, and she got comfortable and then showed why she's been given this major push right away.
But yeah, I think she's on the right direction. I think eventually she'll get to being the women's champ in time.
Mm-hmm.
Becky, I mean, Becky's already established, so who better to get the rub from than Becky?
Right.
So
All I'm gonna say about Sol Ruka, she needs to stay the fuck away from the Sasuke special, because it's at least the third time where I've seen her, I feel like, nearly die trying to get that. She hits the cartwheel, and then when she's about to like vault off and moonsault over rope, I understand the idea of wanting to get close because it makes the arc look better and it looks more.
She hits the ropes more times than she doesn't.
It scares the shit out of me, brother. Like, I have such a hard time watching that coming up. I'm like, oh god, not again. Oh, but I mean, people, they're making comparisons. At least commentary is making comparisons between her and Lita, as far as like that risk-taking element to their style. So, maybe it's like a Jeff Hardy, Darby Allin. Like, it's gonna take like a couple nasty.
So you're gonna soon enough not like her and hope she doesn't win a world title, Brandon?
Oh, hey, come on! No, I didn't say nothing like that.
If you're giving that comparison, that's what's gonna happen.
Well, not in all things. I'm just saying, like, and I think we agree. Like, the Sasuke special is not a risk she needs to continue to take.
No, I agree. It should be something you bring out seldomly.
Like, at least like get a few rounds in the PC with it first, with some like heavy padding on and around you, before you decide you want to whip it out on every big match where like you look like you're gonna fucking kill yourself. Like, please don't.
Speaking of big matches, in Tribal Combat, Roman Reigns defeats Jacob Fatu. Roman is a heel. I think it showed that definitely on Monday. Like, Jacob is willing to acknowledge him and pledge his allegiance to his tribal chief. That's great. Seems like we're now in, back in 2023, Paul Heyman said that was inning 3 of the Bloodline. What inning are we in now? Because now Solo is back involved, and like, as for our match, it was fine. It was a plunder match. story made sense. I would have preferred a Jacob win because it would have been interesting. But like we were talking about it in Discord, and Donnie's trying to give me shit for it. But my feelings are, and I understand you want your biggest stars having the titles. That makes sense from a business perspective. But we are on the precipice of having new stars and new megastars, and like an Ope-Eh and a Jacob
New
Hudson,
era.
Braun Breaker, not Austin Theory.
Strays for no reason.
It's what we got to do,
Why?
man. But like,
Give it time.
It's just the tribal. This was like 2023 tribal chief. He hit the fucking low blow pin. Like, he obviously this is tribal combat, but when he lost or beat Jacob the first time, he cheated. Like, it was him using shitty tactics. He's not just bringing out the bloodline. He couldn't in this match, but like, him saying to Jay, go after Cody is an interesting thing for him to do. And like, I like that, but like, there has to be some intrigue here. And it seems like the plan for SummerSlam is probably Jay versus Jacob, and Jacob is going to fucking kill him. Like, if Jay wins that match, I'll be shocked. But like,
yeah,
I don't know. Match is good. I'm not going to discredit the match because it was good, but the bloodline is back, and I love the bloodline as much as the next person, but like, I don't need 20-minute long-winded promos from Roman being like, I'm in God mode. None of these MFers are even close to me. Like, I'm the fucking tribal chief. I run this. And then him in matches being like, you're not on my level.
Talking up the ramp.
Like, I'm sick of it. Like, especially because, like I said, Roman Reigns has been a heel ever since he lost the title. He has never once apologized. He will probably never apologize. I'll never get my tribal apology, and I'll be salty about that for the rest of my life. So, brother,
your best chance at the tribal apology is at the Hall of Fame podium. That is the best chance you have.
I think it's gonna have to it's gonna come from like Oba, like truly humbling him. Like, Oba's gonna have to fucking destroy him, and like his family can try and interfere,
teach him the
and
value.
It won't matter. Like, it's gonna need, like, I thought Cody maybe humbled him a bit, but like, that was a 30-minute match that Roman lost because he decided to go after Seth versus Cody. You know what I mean? He needs he needs to get like genuinely, truly humbled and realize like, maybe I'm not that good. Not saying he isn't that good, because he is, but like, his family just came back and was like, yeah, we're okay with the abuse that you gave us. Let's just show that we ain't the twos, we the ones. Blah 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 blah.
Real recognize real.
It's just,
they're the twos, we the ones.
I don't know why you'd want. I don't know why it's an abusive relationship, and they're just like, all right, that's fine with me, I guess.
Well, they all seem to be fine with abusing at this point. It's not like Roman has to coerce
Jacob.
these dudes.
I feel like Jacob's gonna secede real quick. He's not gonna put up with that shit at all.
Well, you got to figure Jacob has already been fronting his own group in Contra and MLW too, so he's got leadership potential in there somewhere, and it's going to come through at some point. This ain't going to be a long-term thing, I don't think. Especially when you consider the intrigue of what Jacob or what Solo and like Tama and Tala are doing there. I mean, we're talking like 7th inning now, because we're coming like everybody at all angles. We still got to get Zilla in that mix. I don't know when they're going to get like Journey or Jonathan or Tomiko or whoever the fuck they got in the wings.
Most of them are not going to be a part of it. You have to.
Well, I mean, bear in mind this is inning 7. We still got maybe 2 more innings to go, and then, you know, who's to say if we go to OT, right? But yeah, I think this whole thing with Roman is him repeating this mantra of like, I can do this shit myself. I don't need nobody else. He said that with Punk. He said that with Jacob. And I think he's going to say it with whoever, i.e. Ope-Eh, is going to be coming to chase him, that's really going to challenge him. And whether that really gets him to see the value of family, like you always wanted, Pierce, like maybe that's it. Maybe that's the trigger that gets pulled, and maybe that's when you start to see the shift in character.
Dude needs to be humbled. The
It's
ego
coming.
is ego. He's an egomaniac, and
It's coming.
Assuming he faces Seth at SummerSlam, which seems to be the route they're going to go, which is fine with me. There needs to be a true humbling moment for him, and maybe it's from an LA Knight cash in, maybe it's from hitting the brick wall of Ope-Eh, but as far as a match, it was fine.
Yeah, it did what it needed to do. It got Jacob in line. I mean, Roman will Roman. He Romaned in this match. That being said, like Jacob still looked hella strong getting beat because he's still, after getting speared through a fucking table and all that other punishment he took in the match, he still stood up, and Roman couldn't believe that shit until he went for another spear and actually like went for the kill, didn't dick around. So he did what he's supposed to do as like an alpha in that situation. Like you don't sit around gawking at shit. You pop it and then it's done. And now we're going to see a little bit of bloodline resurgence for the summer. Be very curious to see what this looks like for Jacob come time for War Games, come time for anything following the summer, especially leading up into Mania season, and especially up against what's going to inevitably be the threat of Ope-Eh. Pete, what'd you think?
The match was fine. It did kind of take me back to when Roman and Jay were feuding in the beginning of the Bloodline. Where he's putting him in line, and he did that with Roman, did that with Jacob in this match. I am a little of the aftermath. I'm not sure after seeing Raw where Jacob got down on a knee, wasn't to acknowledge Roman. Wasn't really feeling that, but I mean, how long is this going to last until they clash again?
Right. It seemed a little out of character for Jacob because you figure like he's kind of been this rogue agent for how long, just no fucking all gas, no brakes with it. Yeah, I mean all that kind of shit. But he was humbled, and like the thing about Jacob too is like he's kind of always been on the underneath, like kind of that dude, because he's talking about my kids seeing me take this loss, my kids seeing me make this promise, and like I got to stick to my word as a man. So that gave Jacob a little extra character because he's in kind of a position now where he's beholden to his word in serving Roman. It's not necessarily like he wants to, but he made a statement. Yeah, he made a statement. He's got to stand by it. So it gives him a little bit extra character. But it was weird, man, because we've been getting used to the Samoan werewolf and seeing him like fucking literally tongue and death grip Roman to the ground, frothing, nearly fucking doing the death thing like it's advertised, right? But yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah,
the man being beholden to his word.
It was a good main event. It just was like I would have liked them to do something interesting. But to rate both shows, Noche de los Grandes, I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. It was that damn good, that main event. Could have main evented WrestleMania. Clash in Italy, and this is mainly off the middle of the card versus the opener and the main event. I'm going 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, no, Noche was fucking great. Noche, I feel like, was one of those pivotal shows that brings AAA to a broader audience and really shows what it's capable of as a WWE brand, while also showcasing a lot of like what makes AAA great besides. So I'm gonna give AAA Noche de los Grandes. I'm giving that shit a 9 out of 10 too. Hell, I might even give it a 9.25. Clash in Italy. Crowd was fine. It gave you the same as like Clash in Paris. It gave me the same vibe, especially with the 2 counts and the chanting and the clapping and shit. I'm like, bro, they're trying. This is exactly like Paris, but just Italiano, right? But match qualities, I felt like Jade Rio was terrific. The opener The opener took a lot off for me.
The opener was good until the finish. The finish was just so deflating that it,
Yeah.
this card could have been an 8 out of 10 if that opener delivered, and the main event,
Yeah.
I think, delivered what it needed to, but it could have been better. That's why I gave it a 7.5.
Sure.
Not that it was
No,
a
I
bad
agree.
card. It was a great card at that point, but it just wasn't what it could have been.
No, definitely not. Well, and what the fuck, I mean, I guess we're talking about follow-ups in Italy on Raw, right? Like Julia, she missed Clash in Italy, but she made Raw and then she ate a pin. It's a little bit of a tangent, but like, what the fuck was that? I don't know. This company doesn't value Julia at all, and it pisses me off. But Clash in Italy, I'll just give it like a straight 7. That's about where I'm at with it. Pete, what you think?
Noches, I might be going a little high here, but I feel the impact and the fact and putting a Lucha Libre on that platform, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10.
Damn.
Okay.
That's the first ever 10 out of 10 on this show, Pete. So
I
trailblazer.
will not argue that. You know what?
I was very close for a 10 out of 10 last week, to be fair. Since you guys weren't here, if you want to quick give a double or nothing rating, I gave it a 9.75, and I believe the boys over at 1, 2, 3 Kicking Out Pod, they gave it 9.5 and 9.25. So,
but yeah, I feel like that show just had everything, and just the impact that it made. It's just one of those shows you're just gonna remember. Now, what direction they go from here? Hopefully, they can keep the momentum going in AAA.
well,
Clash in Italy, I'll give it a 7. I kind of wish they showcased their Italian stars, like you're saying, like Julia. Maybe have Liv perform. She's Italian. I mean, Roman's half Italian, so I guess that counts. But
yeah, I think that's where the Roman name comes from, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean,
I think that was Dusty Rhodes who came up with it. He's like, "Hey, baby, I think good name for you is Roman Reigns. That'll work really well, Daddy. Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
rolls right off.
Definitely not Roman Leaki like he was going to be.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, early Roman was something else to watch, man. It was very.
He was on Reigns' time.
Man,
he's kind of a proto tribal chief to a point. So,
Pierce, I still got to watch Double or Nothing, though. I will give that a rating once I watch it.
It's like top to bottom the best show of the year.
That's like, what everybody's.
Grande's is like for a non-pay-per-view event and more like a special is the best show of the year, but like WrestleMania Night 2, Noche de los Grandes, and Double or Nothing are the shows of the year at this point. And I feel pretty confident in saying that. But that does it for this show. Pete, thank you so much for joining us again, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Brandon, I'm not going to be here next week. What do you got going on, man?
Yeah, so we got AEW Summer Blockbuster coming up next week. It's a 2-parter. So I've been trying to. I don't know if any of y'all caught me in now that we finally revealed the identity of Los Macafano. I was running a live
over a year at this point, but
yeah, I was running a little live ski for Noche. So just come on by. On the 10th, I'm running a live up on TikTok for Summer Blockbuster Night 1. And then for Summer Blockbuster Night 2 on the 11th, I'm going to be running over on the IG. I found out we have live over there because we have over 50 followers, 50 subs. So that being said, please do give us a watch, give us a like, subscribe, follow us up. We're on the YouTube there, and boost them numbers because we want to talk with y'all live over on this platform here as well. And we just want to continue the growth. We want to continue talk with each and every one of you lovely folks who will just want to chill and watch some wrestling and have yourself a little bevy. Have yourself a little good time.
I mean, how can we not end the episode there? So this has been your favorite podcast saying thank you for stopping into the Ope Three-Way. Have a drink on us. We'll see you next time. Have a wonderful night.